Welcome to the 13.3 kickoff video for the Geo team. This is Nick. I'm the engineering manager for Geo, filling in for our product manager, Fabian, who's out of the office. Our team has some exciting work ahead of us in 13.3, so let me share my screen. All right, one main theme for 13.3 is a focus on moving our disaster recovery capabilities towards viable maturity. We have made significant progress over the last couple of months and have completed over 60% of the issues in our viable maturity epic. This work aims to increase the amount of data types we replicate to a geosecondary, improve support for a planned failover, as well as improve geo-scalability by simplifying backfill operations, making them more performant. Some new data types that we plan to support in 13.3 are external merge request diffs, Terraform state files, and vulnerability export files. We had planned these for 13.2 and made good progress in that milestone, but along the way we discovered some considerations that have now pushed the outlook back to 13.3. Continuing with the theme of increasing the amount of data we replicate, we are also going to start implementing snippet replication. In doing this work, we'll be building out our self-service framework's capability to easily add replication for other repository data types in the future. Moving on to the theme of geo-scalability, we've made a lot of iterative improvements to the backfill performance for different replicables. Having Geo enabled on GitLab's staging environment has allowed us to better troubleshoot scalability issues and validate improvements there. In 13.3, we plan to continue testing the improvements that are still behind a feature flag, and we'll remove them if no problems arise. Our customers with large installations should see a noticeable improvement in the time it takes to sync large amounts of data. We'll also be able to remove code and documentation related to foreign data wrappers. Removing foreign data wrappers reduces the complexity of Geo, making it easier for sysadmins to set up and maintain a Geo deployment. So that's going to be a very exciting development for 13.3. Next, with the 13.2 release, PostgreSQL 12 is going to be available in Omnibus as an opt-in feature. We are going to do some testing with fresh Geo installs using Postgres 12, as well as upgrades to Postgres 12 to make sure that Geo customers have the documentation and support needed to benefit from this new version. Another testing priority for us this milestone is to test giddily cluster on a Geo secondary. Giddily now supports giddily cluster for fault tolerance, and we want to test and make sure it works as expected for a Geo secondary so that our customers can feel confident in incorporating it into their Geo deployments. Next, we're also going to explore supporting PostgreSQL high availability on Geo secondaries. Currently, secondaries only support a single database node, and this is problematic for customers using Geo for disaster recovery because a failover to a secondary can't use a high availability configuration immediately. Now that Petroni is going to be bundled with Omnibus, we are going to investigate using Petroni to manage a standby cluster on the secondary. Another way that we want to improve the failover experience for our customers is to improve our failover documentation. Currently, the documentation is a bit scattered, and we'd like to update it to provide a more runbook style linear process for failing over on well-supported Geo configurations, such as a two-site single node Geo with an Omnibus managed database. On the front end, we have some exciting developments. One is that we're making improvements to our admin UI. So the team is currently reviewing and providing feedback on some new designs that came out of customer feedback from previous UX research. These updates will make it easier for administrators to find relevant information and interact with their geo installations from the admin UI. And we expect the work to implement these designs to span over the next couple milestones. And last but not least, we're going to continue work on making the front end more flexible and generic in order to make it easier to support new data types using the self-service framework. All right, well, that does it for this walkthrough of the Geo team's plan for 13.3. I'll end with our usual disclaimer that we plan ambitiously and work in a continuous iterative Kanban style. So these plans are always subject to change, and we will be sure to provide regular updates in our epics and issues. All right, thanks for watching.